Hi, this is Clay Nelson Life Balance Hour, and we're talking about giving up complacency. And you just heard Bonnie Raitt, and you know that I'm sure even Bonnie Raitt has had a problem with complacency at one time or another in her life, although her music certainly isn't complacent. Now, think about this now. It doesn't make any difference how much money you got. It doesn't make any difference how old you are. It doesn't make any difference what your job is. Complacency lives in a mindset. So it doesn't make a difference about what you have or what you don't have or how hungry you are or not. It makes a difference in what you think. See, the only way you can have a say in how your life turns out is to speak it. And to speak what? What your mind speaks for you.
Well, Clay, actually, speaking of people speaking here, there's a question that came in on the little fast blast thing on the video. By the way, you can go to claynelsonlifebalance.com/watch, and you can watch a video stream of the program.
Cool.
So anyway, just let everyone know. But this question actually came in. I wanted to clarify it
God,
before
I actually
we move
forgot to
forward.
say that, didn't I, at the beginning of the show?
That's fine. That's fine.
I'm a total. I've gotten complacent.
Yeah, you're excited about the topic, man.
Oh, totally. Okay, go ahead.
So anyway, the question was, what is the difference between complacency and boredom?
Oh, gosh, I knew you were going to ask me this. Now, so, all right, so the name of the game is complacency is, it's like complacency, it's like you're getting to a place where you're not really present to how your head works about anything else works because you're not really present, all right? You're just kind of like unaware. And boredom is a state of mind where you're aware of what you're doing and it just doesn't light you up anymore. And that's really the difference. It's a fine line. Now, notice both definitions, the result could be is saying, hey, I'm done with this. I got to change it. And the way I'm going to change it is, or the other side of it is I don't know how to change it. Could you please help me change it? So you ask for help. If there's something you want and you don't have it in your life, ask for it.
Oh.
Okay? So you can ask you can ask your kids, hey, you know what? I'm kind of like blah. You got the blahs. And you go to your kids, you go, what are you doing? And they'll look at you like, wait a minute, you're a parent. You're not supposed to be like this. And then you say, well, can I play with you for a while? And they'll go, doing what? And then you go, well, anything you want to do. And then they'll have to figure out how to be with you. But the interchange will get you out of complacency. All right?
Nice. Well, thank you. Keep sending us questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so now I've got another quote. And I'm going to give you the name. Boy, I hope I don't make a mess of this. The name is Mao Zedong. Zedong, all right? Complacency is the enemy of study. You can't learn much when you're sitting there just being a toad. It's hard to learn anything when you're sitting there going, yeah, I already know, and that's it, and there's nothing else to learn, and that's all life is.
Ribbit.
Ribbit, total ribbit, okay? Thomas Edison said, we shall have no better conditions in the future if we are satisfied with those which we have at the present. In other words, if you're sitting still saying, it's just like, I just remember something. In 1926, they were voting on whether to close the U.S. Patent Office because they said everything had already been developed. 1926. And if you notice, few things have come up since then. So if you just sit around saying, hey, this is all there is, or here's another one you can think about. Knowing is the booby prize, all right? Anytime you're sure you know something, what's the first thing that stops? Learning any more about it. So when you're complacent, you're sitting there going, I already know it. I've already learned it. I've already eaten it. I've already tried it. I've already smoked it. I've already experienced it. I've already talked about it. And there's just nothing else to do. Or how about this? I've already listened to it, I've already talked to it, and I've already read it. Or how about this? I've already done that radio show. What do I do? Now think about that, ladies and gentlemen, because that's where we go. How many of you are so complacent you can't remember driving your car home at night?
Scary thought.
How about this? All right. How many of you are in the gym lifting weights, but you're not really present, and you got a giant 80 or 90 or 180 or 90-pound weight above your head? You're going, okay, where's my head? Or how about this? You're so not present because of complacency, your kids are talking to you, and you don't hear what they say. Or how about this? You come home from work, and your feet and your fanny's on the couch, but your brain isn't there. And your kids are going, Dad, can I talk to you? Excuse me, Dad, can I talk to you? Or your wife goes, what would you like for dinner? And you go, uh-huh. Now, we all do this. We're all guilty of this, all right? Now, you want to have more power in your life? You want to have more energy in your life? You want to have a bigger say in how your life turns out? Get present to what complacency is. It's a loss of creativity. It's a loss of drive. It's a loss of really being able to and believing in that you can reach the goals you set. But really, the biggest thing is it's a loss of joy and passion for living life. And again, I say, I am the only person that has a say in how my life turns out. And if my life isn't working, it's my fault. It's not the government's fault. It's not my wife's fault. It's not my kid's fault. It's not the radio station's fault. It's not Diego's fault. It's not Jaron's fault. Well, maybe Jaron.
Just a little.
Yeah, a little Jaron. Yeah. Okay. So, but it's my fault. I am the only person that has a say in how my life turns out. And if I don't like how much I weigh, stop putting food in my mouth. Have a plan. If I don't like what I'm doing, change it. If I don't like what I'm wearing, change it. And if I don't like what I'm hearing, don't listen anymore. So all this complaining about these regulations and all kinds of things about what's going on television, turn off the television. What do you think? So complacency is a very cool place to just kind of give up and just stand there and take up space on the planet. And boy, wait a minute, Jaron. There's a whole bunch of folks now that are just absolutely taking up space on this planet. And they need to wake up and have a say in how their lives turn out and have a say in how the world turns out and quit just being followers. So people out there in the world, wake up! Hello, knock, knock, time to get it on. What do you got, Jaron? I
didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm glad you did finish that thought because it does relate directly here. And you had mentioned TV before.
Yeah.
And this one came in from Cheryl, and she says, it seems to me that the 24-hour news and our instant access to powerful images goes a long way toward our feeling of powerlessness.
Yeah.
Yet shutting ourselves off from the realities of the world isn't the answer either. Any thoughts on kind of achieving a happy medium?
Absolutely. Now hear this. I turned off my cell phone for a year. No cell phone. I stopped watching TV for 6 months, all right? I took phone calls, but only from 8 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock at night or from family members, all right? I quit reading the newspaper, and I didn't watch the stock market anymore. And you know what? In a year's time, when I got back to the world was pretty much doing the same thing it was doing when I quit listening to it. So what's that tell you about the world? What's that tell you about the comments that are going on in the world? What's that tell you about the media? What's that tell you about news? What's that tell you about stock market? I mean, my gosh, you don't have to deal with any of it if you don't want to. I mean, I spent more time making a difference for kids, more time making a difference for business owners, more time getting healthy myself, increased my relationship with my wife, had more fun with my mom, who I dropped out of my life when I gave up what was going on in the rest of the world. And actually, see, you don't really have a say when you listen to all this stuff. You're just consumed by listening. You give up you having a say because you're absolutely programmed to just listen, have an opinion, but the opinion only lasts 30 seconds.
It's amazing when you're not bombarded with that to have thoughts in your head
Absolutely.
And to hear that, and it seems to surprise
Absolutely.
Everyone.
I mean, think about this now. What did people do before television?
There was a time before television?
They went...
you keep joking. You're joking. I know you are.
They went fishing. They got out in nature. You know, all the things that everybody's talking about and you see on TV but nobody does anymore. You know they actually have fishing camps now because dads aren't teaching their kids or moms aren't teaching their kids about sports and fishing. You know that most people go to the woods and they die there because they don't know what to do when they're standing next to a tree besides rub on it. I mean, give me a break. So it's all about getting straight with yourself. So complacency, you notice I have an opinion about complacency? Complacency will actually drive you in the ground, make you stand really still, and you can die with no smile on your face. Now, I got to go on another break. And I'm sure you're so excited now that you're going to come back and you're going to really start listening for how I can get out of this rut I'm in. And if you're not in a rut, think about teaching how to keep out of the rut. Think about that now. If you know what I'm talking about, you hear what I'm talking about, and you're going, yes, I understand that, Clay. Yeah, that's right. That's true. Most of the planet is complacent. How do we get the planet moving again? And I can't do it by myself. I need help. I'm good, but I'm not that good. So if you're listening to me now, start thinking about how you can make a difference, either with a coworker or somebody at a stop sign or standing in a grocery store line or a child you meet or a club that you join. But just make a difference and get people thinking and moving. I'll give you a hint. You could start being the question and stop being the answer. We'll talk about that when I get back. So you're listening to Clay Nelson Life Balance Hour on KZSB AM 1290. Get on back here.